Okay, are we ready? Go. Any seconds left? We can go, okay, right on, yeah, welcome to the March 17th. Joint School District 171 Board of Directors meeting. Appreciate that you're all here. Please join me, yeah, roll call first, and then a flag. Carmen.
Okay, trustee Saint Germain,
Here.
trustee Craig,
Here.
trustee Daniels,
Here.
trustee Kepke,
Here.
trustee McIntosh.
Here. Okay, thank you. Please join me in salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, all that serve. You know, today is the 90th anniversary of our Kenny VFW post.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Having a big dinner over there tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's the, what is it? Corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, 90 years we've had a VFW in this community. It's
That's
pretty cool.
crazy.
Okay, so, we're gonna get right down to business. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Moving on to the consent agenda. Motion to approve.
We did the meeting minutes.
Oh. I was thinking. Approval of the minutes from February 24th.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda, or excuse me, the minutes from the February 24th meeting as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? We are searching for the electronic version of our protocol work from the work session. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Now moving on to the consent agenda. Any questions? I motion first.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? We kind of knew it was coming, but we're seeing red numbers in maintenance, supplies and materials. And I've asked the question and I'm assured that we have funds to cover that, but I think we need to be a little bit more mindful about where we are and how we're sitting, especially in the times that we're potentially entering around public funding for education. Not criticizing you. We knew it was coming. I just think we're going to have to at least be aware and be mindful of how we plan and strategize.
Yep.
And then just for full clarity, but yeah, I was talking to Jason, that summary is just not, and I know I asked for it and I know it's extra work for you, but it's just not helping very much me understand. And I don't know about, I've asked a couple others, and if you guys could work together and come up with something that maybe doesn't take you extra time and energy, some kind of report that you could pull to help us get a better idea of where we are. I don't know why I'm not getting what I thought I would get out of that, sort of what we had for revenue, where we are in expenditure wise, but it's just not jumping out at me on a regular basis. Is it you?
I mean, I'm tracking with it. I mean, are you looking to like more like a simpler process, just overall?
Well, I know she does extra work to produce that. And yeah, I mean, so we have in our general fund, it shows right now that we have 88% of our revenue and we have 51% of our expenditures made. And
So it's the same template that is used on the budget, so that's why I use that template, so you can see if you went to the budget, it'd be an easy comparison.
Okay.
I think a lot of it's hard too, because just timing.
Yeah,
It's
because
constantly changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our revenue, we should start seeing more of it now. Our
Exactly.
expenditures go clear throughout the summer, but
Yep.
the state funds is majority of it by this time.
Mhm.
but I think something else
Doesn't
that might,
catch any red flags. And that's why we have Brittany, right, and Jason, so maybe we don't need it, but maybe just some brainstorming on that.
Yeah, maybe if you think about like what specifically what would be helpful that you want to see, then I can, Brittany and I could talk about what kind of report might show that.
Is it more of the trends, Chris? Is that what you're saying? If something's trending the wrong way?
Yeah, I mean, if there are risk items that
Yeah.
start to show up, is there some way that we could figure out a way to flag that somehow? When we look in our budget and there's negative expenditures, that's really not being reflected at all in this. And maybe it doesn't matter, and
It doesn't often within those lines, those, individual lines, as long as the overall category,
Mhm.
is in budget, it's okay. It's not ideal, but, it's frequent. Usually what we do is we revise the budget for next year. If we find that we needed, X more dollars in textbooks or whatever, then we usually choose to go in the red on that, knowing that we're going to have surplus in other accounts. And then we know for sure how much we went over, and then we can adjust for the next fiscal year's budget.
Yeah, I remember several years ago, we were talking about making a more thoughtful approach to proactive budgeting and using the information that we've gained, and I think we've done a good job of that. And like I said,
Sure.
I couched the whole point with, we knew that we were gonna go backwards in materials and supplies because that 521 money took that away from us, right?
We were unable to increase it this last year, knowing that.
Right.
Right.
Because we didn't know.
Also, excuse me, like Jason said about the overall, like if you look at our paid service, we have a pretty competent maintenance crew right now, so our paid service money, our expenditures are way down this year because yeah, we're buying more in supplies, but our crew's doing it, so we're not paying outer companies to come in. So we're still saving money, even if we're hitting red, our paid services are still
Down, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll think on it some more
Yeah,
and think about
does it-
what I just, it'd be nice to figure out a quick view to identify potential risk or red flag areas. I think
Or the
that's
other
all I-
way too, if we have like just what you just said there, is there a way to put some bullet points in some of those things too?
So you'd almost have to do like a monthly reoccurring to
To catch that.
catch it,
Mhm,
because this is just an overall
I know.
year to date.
We have a chart of accounts, but it's really deep.
You're right,
You could see what you're asking, but it would be amongst all of those, every
Mhm.
fund.
And I thought about building a table that would, for me, month to month, look at where we are.
Mhm.
And maybe I just need to sit down and make that happen, so I could see if I'm seeing the trend that I'm looking for and take that assignment. And you can say, you've talked about that for months, Chris, just do it. Okay. Great. Okay, that's all I had for that. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor, consent agenda?
Aye.
I,
All right,
I,
Aye, motion carries. Reports and recognitions.
let's go first. We all took one for you, Chris, so.
I'll go first. Orofino Elementary, recognizing the assistant principal, Lindsay, for all her work that she did in getting the family fun night going. They had lots of community representation, brought staff and the community partners and students and their families together, helping bridge that gap between the home and school. And sounds like there was lots of fun activities that happened that night. So
I took a fun one, Cavendish. They got a grant for cushions. And these kids, if you look at the links, they look like they're really enjoying reading. So at a young age, because of the nice new cushions they got. So
In their jammies.
yeah, in their jammies, reading and comfortable. And then that next link, laid across, but headphones on and computers down on the floor. Yeah, it looks like a really nice learning environment and good job on the grant to get that.
And I want to make some oobleck.
What's
Yeah,
that?
After reading that, it's like,
Yeah.
I want to make oobleck. That sounds really cool. Yeah, but is it STEAM now and not STEM?
Yes. Well, I mean, you could still use the acronym STEM, but they do use STEAM
And
frequently.
what's the A?
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Sorry.
Anybody?
Yes.
Arts?
Oh,
perfect.
wonderful.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, I want to make some oobleck.
All right, I'll take on Orofino Junior Senior High School. Recognitions for Clarissa Beauregard, working hard at preparing the seniors for their senior presentations. I believe that's coming up this week. Thursday. She does so much for our community. So it's just even beyond in the classroom and in the school. Clarissa's a tremendous asset. Abigail Waller, taking on various roles within the facility for the 8th grade career course management and IDLA. She's supervising that as well. She's also does our librarian and manages our senior projects as well as scholarships. So congratulations to both of them for being recognized. And we had our parent teacher conferences this last month. And Beck and her team are going to work on trying to get a higher engagement, increased engagement for our parents in the community. If they're watching these videos, please come to your parent teacher conferences. It's a good opportunity for you to meet your students, teachers, and stay the course and where they need to go for the rest of the year. So good job to Orofino. And we rocked in baseball this last week.
Awesome.
So I'll take Timberline. So Michelle Brown received another LCCU grant for her classroom, and she does an excellent job of reaching out to find resources for her classroom. Carolyn Condor put together and hosted the elementary spring concert with patriotic songs. I did get to watch some of those. Brandy Larson's paraprofessional position has shifted into specializing in de-escalation and social emotional learning. So she's been working with the counselor and the SPED department to provide a safe space for students to de-escalate. It sounds like she's a great fit for that position and it's making a positive impact. And then Katrina Morris stepped in to cover as an administrator for Mrs. Pinque. So she did an amazing job taking care of disciplinary issues and pushing elementary classrooms for the reading instruction observations. And then looks like your parent teacher conferences overall, that was a great turnout, great percentage. So.
Well, I want to thank Jim for providing a comprehensive report from the Youth Challenge Academy. This is great. I appreciate it very much. And I know, I was going up to the ski hill and I saw the parking out by the dump road and that pull off and thought, whoa, what's going on? And I drove further and there were more people parked on the side of the road and it was a packed house. That's awesome.
Yeah, we had 671 people on site.
Yeah.
508 family members.
Wow.
Yeah.
Final number of disease.
Awesome.
Like thank Timberline for allowing us to be in the facility while we're doing construction there. It's just pretty unsafe right now to have that many people there for sure. So
I don't know where you would park them on. Yeah.
We need all the space.
Through the pines, yeah. And Amy Jarrett and Cheryl McIntosh and Guy Bonner stepped up to do a big helping hand in that effort, as well as in the parent teacher conference, part of Family Day. And I want to just share that Russell and Brittany and Farah are constantly called out at the district level for the positive input and assistance and work that you guys do. So across the board, appreciate what you do. We have a great team.
Heck, seems how we're here. I see some smiley faces here. But 4th to 6th grade students to be able to place all 50 US states in the correct place. That's pretty impressive, pretty good group of them. And then 2 of them got the states, their capitals, and then Canadian province and territories.
Nice.
I doubt there's so many people in this room that could do that.
Right.
It
So
made me think.
they look, yeah, me too. I was really starting to see which ones I'd get, but yeah, two young men and look pretty proud to be able to do that. So good job, Peck.
And I like their pictures for the post
Yeah,
office
that's
too.
cool.
Those are cute.
Yeah, there was some in WEAT too, I noticed.
Was
Okay,
there?
So
Yeah.
we at post office.
good.
But did the school do that? The elementary school?
They might.
Or
have
maybe the
something that-
library.
That goes down to the post office.
Uh-huh. Okay, moving on to program reports. Does anybody have any questions? Roy, the one thing I shared with Jason in my previous role, I did a lot of work with helping small businesses, contractors get public works licensed. And if you want help putting together a small information packet or working to help the folks that you work with that aren't public works licensed, I would be happy to help do that. Yeah, to help all of us.
Yeah, that was one of my concerns with that, boy,
Yeah.
that's good to know there's a way to get them that way.
Yep, the tests in this region are typically in Coeur d'Alene. And there's a little bit of packaging that you have to do for it, but it opens up tremendous opportunities regionally if those contractors like to work in schools and have that license and they now all have to utilize that. That it's a way to market that and spin that as a possibility. So I'm happy to help. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, if you would you share with the community?
It's on the agenda.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Oh, is it? I miss it.
Mhm. B.
B.
B. Yep. Okay. All right. Jason, you want to be your
Sure. I wanted to highlight the sawmills and for schools program. You saw that right up there in my report. That's from Becca. We have that event coming up on the 22nd. It's going to be all day. They've invited a lot of people from across the state and region to see what's happening in the schools, as well as tour Empire Lumber, go to a logging site. And if you recall, that's connected to those CTE grants that we got, and trying to provide, students with hands-on CTE careers that are relevant to our area. So hopefully someday we'll be able to get the construction done for the remainder of that grant. That's what we're waiting on now. This is our architect. And then following that, state approval, and then we'll go out for bids for expanding the shop space. But they've got all the equipment in and students are using the welding equipment and stuff like that. So that'll be the kind of kickoff event. And Becca said that the ribbon cutting ceremony, what time, Becca? 2:30. Yeah. So it's a pretty cool community partnership event with a lot of people connected to that. So and excited about it. So that's pretty neat. That's the main thing I wanted to highlight. You referenced, I recognize Brittany, just to elaborate a little bit, she's been working hard as in preparation for budget, as well as a large part of her job is continually learning new updates about spending appropriately and providing, making sure we all know how we can spend and not, and keeping everybody up to date on that. So that's not always fun to tell people no, but she does it well. And then also Farah, I've been working in pre-negotiation stuff, getting a lot of data put together, and both of them, but Farah has done a lot of the human resources data collection and helped me put together presentations. So I appreciate both of them. And then I just put some links in there for you to stay connected. Pretty thin this month.
well, I mean, I think it's not 98% across the board, but our attendance is above 90% across the board.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we can celebrate as well. Without the added influence of the academy. So that's really good for us, right? regular students. Okay, let's see, moving on. Do we have any public comment tonight?
We're in Peck with no public comment. This is good. Going the right direction.
Okay, so moving on to discussion and action items.
I kind of covered the sawmills in this.
Becca, do you have anything you want to add on sawmills?
I'll get you guys an agenda as soon as I can.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Okay, Roy, you want to share where we are with tech and maintenance and
As in summer stuff.
Yeah, just the big picture stuff.
across the board? What's happening?
Yeah, if you just go over the projects again and
Yeah,
what
so,
the plans are.
we're still following our 10-year plan. The only change that we really haven't, it's not a change yet. We're discussing on, for this summer, the OES Eve project is a very large one. We're having other roof issues at the moment that we're just exploring our options on if now's the time to do the eaves, or if we have a bigger issue deeper that we're gonna have to address before the eaves. Besides that, all of our 10-year plan is gonna go as planned, hopefully. Right now for Peck, we're gonna do an upgraded electrical panel. First to make it legal, because we're not there. And second, so that we can, part of this year's plan also is all new HVAC system, mini splits like what's at the elementary school. And so we need to have a panel that's exterior, and we're gonna do rooftop units. So right now we're running on a 100-amp panel for this whole school. We're gonna do a 200-amp upgrade and go from there. Besides that, so that would get us started here, you know, so we have issues all winter long with the diesel heater that we have. And we have no AC in the summer. So
How many mini splits are we adding?
we're gonna have, it's gonna be one in each room and the hallways. So
Nice.
I believe we have 6 units that are gonna be coming in.
Perfect.
And they're also the cold weather units with the plate so that we'll be efficient during winter still.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the plan here. And then moving forward, again, we're hopefully, if nothing big comes up elsewhere, we're just gonna keep following our 10-year plan. So I believe windows are next here. Siding and doors after that.
Cool.
And yeah, so year by year, keep picking away at it. Everything else, we have Cavendish, we're redoing their bathrooms and their whole water supply line this summer. And because we all, every year when we do water testing there, we get traces of lead. It's always stayed below our level, but still traces. So we're going to eliminate that this year.
Timberline,
Timberline, we're doing with
just did the hot water heater.
We're gonna do that mural with them. And then we're doing carpets. We have some classrooms that have really bad carpet there. We're doing that this summer. But the home ec room has some flooring issues. We're gonna drop it down and redo all that. CTE grants are still
Hanging out there. Yeah.
yeah, we're working on those for both Timberline and the high school in town. I know I'm missing.
Well, the main thing is, and then the OES is the main thing is the eaves and the roof leaking.
Mhm. Yeah, so that start, you know we have issues with the eaves. It's been, you know, you can look through the eaves in a lot of areas, but we've been fighting roof leaks everywhere, and kind of wherever you walk, there's pinholes all over that flat roof membrane. So I'm meeting with a professional flat roof company. They were gonna try this week. They're this week or next week, and they're gonna give us their professional opinion. And they're not the ones who did the work, so they're not, you know, we're gonna have a true honest opinion on what we're working with. So
Is it the substrate that's being used, or is it the
I think there's
underlying infrastructure?
yeah, so I think there's a lot of, so they were done previously many years ago. So that's what we need to look at, you know, is the membrane itself failing? Or were there previous issues that got covered up from just the membrane because they didn't go deep enough into the issue when they redid them 15 years ago or whatever it was? So that's what we need to look at is, you know, is there an underlying problem that's creating our issue? You know, there's certain areas where there's movement in the roof and stuff. So what are we actually dealing with before we just throw new eaves on and rip them out in 2 years?
Quite a bit of rot in the eaves, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
And so
yeah,
we'll-
you can see the dry rot from certain areas and just get a handle on it now before, you know, because once you start getting rot and stuff in there, it just keeps eating through if you don't address it. So.
Yep.
Good.
Good
Well,
job, Roy. Thank you.
yeah,
Yep.
thank you.
As you can see, there's, you know, that's we've never in, you know, history had this many projects going at once. And, you know, those 521 funds obviously allowed us to do that. But as you can tell, it's a lot, there's a lot of moving parts. So Roy's worked pretty hard to coordinate all that. So hopefully we can get it all done and it'll all work out well.
Roy will get it done.
Got a good team now.
And we'll help build an army, public works certified local contract.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the biggest change.
Yeah. I didn't really understand the additional need around architectural engineering. Haven't we always used an architect and an engineer?
Yes, but now we have to go out and bid for it. We can't just call John and have him come do the job. We have to do an RFQ, just like we're bidding a project.
Even with the procurement levels of the state, Brittany? Professional service, I thought 100,000, you could, under 100,000, you could choose whoever you wanted.
Not with this new,
Yeah.
not with the new funding, and that's how it was. All our contractors, it used to be 50,000 rather than any public works. This year in the state of Idaho, it's actually 100,000 under doing public works. But with this new funding, just their guideline.
Thanks.
Oh, interesting. All right. Next, any other questions? Negotiations team. You wanna lead this?
Sure. Brian and Chris volunteered. Anyone else?
Did such a good job last year. I need to take it from him.
I'm sure.
That didn't sound genuine. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
We're better prepared this year.
Are you?
Yes.
So,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
excellent, excellent work by our team. And it's an action item, so you want a motion to approve?
Yeah, just the two of you. And then we'll have others as well, but
So we could get a motion on the table to approve Brian and I to participate in as negotiations team for the district. I can't make it.
No.
I'll make a motion to approve Chris St. Germain and Brian Craig as the negotiation team volunteers.
Second it.
We're willing.
I don't have a choice.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
Okay, and we, at this time, would like to suggest and indicate that we are interested in opening negotiations to the teachers union for the Clearwater Education Association and School District 171. So if we could get a motion to initiate negotiations.
I'd like to make a motion that we open negotiations with our
Clearwater Education.
Clearwater Education Union,
Yeah, is it union or
For school
association?
Association's the name of it.
Association Union for School District 171. To allow us to begin those negotiations.
I'll second that.
Okay, let's get that party started. All those in favor?
Discussion.
Aye.
It was a party.
Okay.
Aye.
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 Motion carries. All right. I did not see that do we have a third read?
We do.
Okay,
I highlighted it because I added that. I didn't realize that one, that 2315 is a third read, so that's why it's highlighted.
okay, because I thought I read no policy.
So in the policy tracker, row 10,
March 3rd.
yep, click on that, open that document, 2315.
Yep.
The only change is clear down at the bottom. The only new change that we haven't discussed, we discussed it, but I actually,
The green.
the green at the
Yeah.
bottom, I actually put it in here. And you can read through that, but after I talked with Jim, I did some research on that, and this language would allow them to operate under their existing program and made sense. Doesn't sound harsh. Basically, they're special.
Mhm.
So will we get rid of the first sentence, will not use physical activities such as running laps or push-ups as
Nope.
punishment? No, we're gonna keep that, okay.
Keep it all, except for just get
And
rid of
add
the
the
red.
teachers and other,
There's an exception.
ah,
I like them.
I do too.
Yeah, sounds good.
So that
I'd
would be
like to
third
read
read.
everywhere,
If,
but we decided not to do that. So we'll at least keep it there.
Yeah.
if you approve, then that will go in as adopted.
Okay.
If not, fourth read. Mhm.
mhm.
Well, it's not in the second sentence. It's not in the part about,
No, it's
So
it says authorized to incorporate physical exercise as an
Disciplinary.
alternative to traditional disciplinary measures.
Or you were asking if the word punishment was in the
It
sentence
is.
associated with the youth challenge ad.
yeah, teachers in other school.
Okay.
it's in the policy and needs to remain in there,
Yes.
but it's not used in language and
Right.
consultation with the school.
Is what?
And that's our only policy review.
Mhm.
No,
Only third.
nice try.
We had March 2nd.
I have second reads.
Okay. So then, we don't have a first read, but we do have a second read. This is, Farah's work at aligning the negotiated agreement with policy. So we've been through it before. Nothing's changed since we, discussed it last month. And basically, it aligns all of our existing policy with the negotiated agreement.
Okay, I'm sorry, the sick leave bank, it just says pending review, February 25 board meeting will be the second read. 54.
That was what I was on, it was on the January agenda scanning. So I don't think they're gonna approve in the February meetings, and so that I should update that for March meeting.
So if this, in other words, if this, is approved as it is, then they would all be, we'd be done with all of these, including 5401.
Okay.
We probably were done with it earlier, but I don't think we approved it.
And that, I'm sorry, Farah, remind me, the sick leave bank was, this alignment was opening it up to all.
So the sick leave bank, the main difference, and I think you have it there, the main difference was who was eligible to, oh no,
That's what I remember. It was about an eligibility for.
that was our sick leave. Yeah, so the negotiated agreement, they have a much broader definition of who you can use sick leave for as far as family. And then just our policy, which would apply because the negotiated agreement supersedes policy. So our policy defines family as people living in the home with the employee. Where a negotiated agreement, it's, mother, father, brother, sister, and then the in-law relationship as well. So a much broader definition.
I knew it had to do with eligibility.
But the sick leave bank, I would want to go to, but that was, so that was the sick leave policy. The sick leave bank I'm trying to recall the difference on that one.
It's 5401, which is, if you want to see the policy, row 106.
Looks like
There
must
are-
be fully vested by
Yes.
contributing all 5 days is something you added in there. And then
That, okay, so that is one that came up because there was actually a little miscommunication. The old policy used to, you didn't have to be vested in order to use the policy the way that it was written. And so the negotiated agreement, they updated that verbiage to, really, I think, correct it last year, but we didn't catch that in our policy. So we were just updating it, but we're a little
Could be
late. Thank you for the reminder. We've got a lot of policies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just bringing them in alignment, really, just to keep it consistent across certified and non-certified staff.
and it looks like how much within a 5-year period, the number of days that they can get
Yes.
granted to an employee also
Yeah.
was updated.
We
Yeah.
dropped the bank. We dropped the bank to 450.
That's something that the union agrees on. Yeah.
That's what I mean, but just.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. This is linked to the- Thank you, Farrell.
That was the only second read, Jason.
Let me verify. Yes.
Okay.
Well, there's 5, too many tabs open.
Yeah.
All of the ones in that, all those policies in the second read link.
Yep.
So we have 2315, 5400, 5401, and 5435.
Yep.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the policy updates for 5400 sick leave balance for personal bereavement, sick leave bank 5401, 5435, staff credit reimbursement, and 2315 as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, and the 2315 is the third read.
It is a third read.
Just make note of that. Okay, all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye, motion carries. Okay, new hires and separations.
I'll make a motion that we accept the new hires and separations as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
I got to set in on one of the interviews and she was very qualified. So it was a very easy decision by the group. So that was fun.
Nice.
Awesome.
Is Kelly, is that at the end of the school year?
It is.
Okay, just assumed. Excellent.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I,
Aye, motion carries. We have a need for executive session?
Do not.
Wow.
Board member input for future agenda items. I have a cool new tool that I bookmarked here.
Where are we next month?
So, April is a presentation of behavioral data within the schools.
Okay.
So you have that,
Work session.
and then I'm looking. Do we have a work session?
Yes. And it's at Cavendish. I don't know what the work session is, but I have it on the calendar as a work session.
Is it budget? Not yet?
No, please no, not today. Please no.
April, right? It's coming up. So let's see.
It says strategic
another-
plan, collaborative, professional
April,
environment.
certified contract renewals. We did those. Do we have more? Strategic plan.
That, That's just a topic. That's not the work session topic. That would just be something we need, a task we need to do in April at our board meeting.
Okay. I'm trying to use data to keep myself informed.
I cannot remember what the work session.
Well, that's good because I just started, I got here early so I could start on that, the work that we've already done. So I'll continue on that with the strategic plan, our goals and objectives.
Okay,
So I'll continue that,
that'll be our work
Update
session
for
then,
next
and
month.
push
people
out that folder for
Yep.
comment and thoughts,
Okay.
and then we can have the
discussion.
hands-on work session that we will record electronically.
I like it.
Or take good notes.
Picking on him. Okay,
Blame us.
no, this one we can blame on him.
Well, we can. It doesn't make it fair, but we can.
We'll see.
It can be fun.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
I second.
It's in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
It's a
Wow,
record.
That is definitely,
Yes.
It's Glenn's birthday.
is it?
Oh,
We could have sang happy birthday. We still can.
yeah.
Off the record, we could sing